Ma'am, you said you will do, right?
தெரியும் தானே
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute is there, ma'am. We'll wait, ma'am. Sudha, ma'am. Sudha, ma'am. Sudha, ma'am, are you inside the
Good
call?
evening, ma'am. I have joined.
Yeah, very good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ramita, ma'am. Ramita, ma'am, we can start now.
A warm good evening to Anandal, present for the virtual faculty development program organized by Department of Data Analytics. I am Dr. Ramida, Assistant Professor, Savita College of Liberal Arts and Science. I feel privileged to extend our warm welcome to today's resource person, Dr. A. Sudha Ramkumar Ma'am, Associate Professor and Head, Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College for Women. I also welcome all the participants from various reputed institutions to the 5 days international faculty development program on emerging trends in data analytics. On behalf of our department, we extend our profound gratitude towards our Chancellor Sir, Dr. N.M. Veerayan Sir, and respected Director Madam Ramya Deepak, and our Vice Chancellor. We wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to our Principal Ma'am, Dr. Gunita Arun Chandu, who gives direction to every student and faculty members. I am glad to invite Dr. A. Hensi Juliet, Ma'am, Professor, Department of Data Analytics, to introduce our chief guest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramita, ma'am. I feel happy to introduce an enthusiastic, dedicated, workaholic, and extensively experienced resource person, Dr. A. Sudha Ramkumar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Sri Kanyaka Parameshwari Arts and Science College for Women, Chennai, India. She did her PhD in Computer Science at Bharathiar University. She has cleared state-level eligibility examination test. Madam Dr. A. Sudha Ramkumar has over 21 years of academic experience. She has served as Assistant and Chief Superintendent for University of Madras regular examinations. Also, she served as a placement officer. She is in charge. She served as in charge for website and web portal in her college. Then she served as a member in NAC core committee. She is in charge for Criterion 2. She has organized many international conferences, faculty development programs, and workshops. She served as a resource person and reviewer for the technical session of international conference. She has received many awards. I would like to list few. She has received Teaching Excellence Award by Lions Club. Then she received award and silver medal for 15 years of her service. She is recognized as a outstanding performer for her dedication in the education field. She was recognized and awarded a silver medal for commitment, dedication, and excellent service for 10 years of service in education sector. She was awarded by her students Coal to Diamond. Around 9 awards she has received. She has published many journals. We are proud to have such an eminent resource person today with us. Without further delay, I would like to hand over the session to today's resource person, Dr. A. Sudha Ramkumar. Madam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Actually, to be frankly speaking, there is a Tamil saying, "Kattradu kaiman alavu, kalladadu ulagalavu." I think that is whatever we know is just a few drop. That too, being a computer science department faculty, whatever we are knowing is just a drop, and our subject is like a ocean. Okay, so today's topic also I little bit touch upon predictive analytics. Just you all know that, but I just want to touch upon what are the areas we can work on for the young researcher. I think it would be useful. First, I would like to thank Principal and Managing Committee of Savita College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Chennai. And I would like to thank FDP coordinator Dr. K. Kalaiselvi ma'am and other FDP coordinators Dr. A. N.C. Juliet ma'am and Dr. P. Malati ma'am and other organizing committee. Next, I would like to thank them for all of them for the opportunity given to me for sharing my little bit of knowledge with you all. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
But it is not in presentation mode, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now it is in presentation mode, ma'am. Is it visible only now?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So it is a really wonderful topic, and it is a much needed topic also, because data analytics is actually ruling our world now. So my topic of presentation is predictive analytics. So within this 1 hour of time, I would just like to touch upon what are the techniques we can use in predictive analytics and what are the use cases available in predictive analytics. And when we are using predictive analytics, what are the advantages we can get from? And up to this, I will stop with the conclusion. So first, I think all of you are aware of predictive analytics, as artificial intelligence is part of our UG curriculum nowadays. So most of us are dealing with predictive analytics also. So I just want to touch upon the techniques and use cases and what are the areas we can use predictive analytics for the research purpose. So this is my agenda today. So we all know that predictive analytics is one type of an data analytic. Already there are 4 type of data analytics. So one is predictive analytics, descriptive analytics, and we have diagnostic analysis, and then prescriptive analysis. Each one is dealing with different kind of a problem. When it comes to predictive analytics, it is mainly focusing on what would be the future trend, what would be the future outcome. If I apply any statistical tool or any machine learning algorithm or technique, if I use, what will be my prediction? So when we hear the term itself, it is very much related with future. Okay. So as the definition is goes like this, it is the process of using the past historical data and current data to forecast what will be the future outcome or trend in my business. So it is mainly used to assess the risk. What will be the risk going to happen in my future and how I am going to manage that risk. So it is helping to assess the risk as well as it is helping us to manage the risk also. So in other way, it is used for the almost all the organization nowadays. They are using predictive analytics to forecast what will be the future business trend. So by giving this future business trend, by predicting this, we can make a better decision. So it is helping almost all the organization and even for educational institution also. Predictive analytics would be the right tool we can use. Suppose in my college, if one course is not getting a good intake, So in what way I can improve that course? So I can use the 5 years or 10 years intake data, and what will be the choice of the student. In what way, if I improve, I can give a better intake to that particular course. So we can predict like this for the educational institution. If you take fee defaulters, almost all of us are facing this issue. So if we take 1,500 students are studying in our college, but almost 500 students are not able to pay their fees on time. So we can predict using those students' data. Okay, so if we take, for example, parents' income, if the parent income is less than 1 lakh or less than 2 lakh, the student is feeling it very difficult to pay the fees. So I can avoid in future. Okay, if the income is less than 1 lakh, I should not allow those kind of student to give enrollment. Okay, so in that way, it is using that is the predictive analytics is useful for us in almost all the areas. So data scientists use these available current data as well as the past historical data as a data source, and they are using various statistical model and machine learning algorithm or techniques to detect the hidden information, and it is used to find the future trend. Okay, so this is the definition and introduction about the predictive analytics. And next comes what will be the types of predictive analytics. We all know that there are two types of predictive analytic model. One is a classification model and another one is regression model. So classification model is otherwise called as a supervised model. Why we are calling it as a supervised model? In the sense, I can know what kind of group I can create. For example, I need to classify the customer into good customer and bad customer, or I need to classify the customer base into fraudulent and non-fraudulent, or a churner or non-churner category. So I will be knowing the label. So there are two kind of label. One is fraud, non-fraudulent. One is good, another one is bad. Like that, I will be knowing the label, what kind of a group I am going to classify. So that's the reason why classification is called as supervised learning. So it is a kind of grouping or a clustering of data objects into one category. Next comes regression model. Regression model is used to predict continuous data. It is not similar to classification. In classification, I will be having 1,000 customers. Based upon the characteristic, I may classify the customer as good customer and bad customer. But here, the regression model is a different one. It is used to predict the continuous data. Here we are using one term called target variable. So I say one example as fee defaulter. So fee defaulter is my target variable. So I am using one variable or feature called annual income.
Madam, I think slides are not changing.
What, sir?
I think slides are not changing. Or is it in my system only?
So I am in second slide, sir. Regression model and classification only I am explaining. I am just explaining which is not available in the PPT, sir.
Okay,
I'm giving an example.
On my screen is only first slide only, that's all. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. So we all know that continuous data is one type of a data format, like age, income. That is a data which is going to change in time. Okay. So it is used to calculate the another example I have given here, how much revenue or profit I'm going to get from a customer. Suppose I'm having one mall or a shop. So when a customer is regularly purchasing from my shop, when the customer's lifetime is, for example, 70 years, if he is coming regularly for my shop, how much revenue I'm going to get from that customer. So this term is called as customer lifetime value. So this is my target variable. I am going to predict this. So that is nothing but regression model. Regression model itself is a very big topic. Regression model is again categorized into two types. One is logistic model and another one is linear regression. So linear regression is nothing but I am taking the students' study hours. Based upon the students' study hours, how would be the performance? Suppose if a student is spending 2 hours of time, what will be their grade or performance? If a student is spending 3 or 4 hours of study time, what will be their performance? Suppose I am predicting this in x-axis I am having study hours, in y-axis if I am having the student performance. So the linear regression will be a straight line. So that's the reason why it is named as linear regression. Whereas the logistic regression will be a curve-like structure. So logistic regression is somewhat yes or no type. So that's the reason why it is named as logistic regression. Whether a customer is a fraudulent person or a non-fraudulent person. Most of the bank nowadays, they are using this fraud detection use case, because fraud detection is used to predict whether the customer is a fraudulent or a non-fraudulent person. If the customer is a non-fraudulent person, then only I can give them the credit card or some other offers to them as a bank manager. So this is another example for regression. So the next topic is predictive analytic techniques. There are many techniques available like nearest neighbor algorithm, decision tree, neural network, like that the list goes on, but I am concentrating only on the major, most commonly used 3 techniques. One is decision tree, another one is regression, and third one is neural network. So decision, each one is having its own pros and cons, but in some situation, decision tree will be the best choice. In some problem, regression will be the best choice. In some problem, the neural network will be playing a good role. So decision tree is one type where I can have a root node. For example, if I have customer as a root node, okay, so I am taking one feature like age or income. Suppose, say for example, I am having an income. If income is less than 40,000, the customers will go to left side. If the income is greater than 40,000, the customers will move on to right. I'm just a minute, ma'am. I'm showing it is moving only. Okay, once again I will.
No, ma'am. For us, it is not in slideshow.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am. Ma'am, now it is visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. I shared the screen alone, so now I shared it. Okay, ma'am. So decision tree, for example, just a minute. Say, for example, I'm having a root node as customer. So if the customer's salary is less than 40,000, the customer will move on to left side. If the customer's salary is greater than 40,000, they will move on to right side. Again, I'm taking another feature like age. If the customer's age is less than 30, the left side. If the customer age is greater than 30, those customer I will move on to right side. Okay. Again, here also I am taking another one, whether the customer is owning a house or not, or is having a own house or rented. So like that, I can move on to other branches. So that kind of a technique is called as decision tree. Next comes regression. Again, regression is having 2 types, linear regression and logistic regression, and neural network, the third technique. So regression, as we see, it is a statistical technique which is mainly used to estimate the relationship between 2 variables. If it is depending on only one variable, it is called as normal regression. If my technique applies more variables, in the sense, I will call it as multiple regression model. Okay, so regression is useful to determine the patterns in large data set, and it is used to determine the correlation between the inputs. That is, what kind of relationship exists between the variables. So it is mainly best employed, mainly focusing on a continuous data. As I said, age, income, these are the type of continuous data. So normally we used to classify the data into two types, categorical data and continuous data. When I say categorical data, you all know that gender, female, male, like that. Okay, so continuous data is a normal numerical data or a data which is subject to change. So regression is often used to determine how one or more independent variable affect the other variable. So for example, how a price increase will affect the sale of a product. If the milk is 10 rupees, most of them will buy. If the milk is 100 rupees, really it is very difficult for it. So price is the influencing variable for the sale of a product. So next is again a decision tree. So I just listed out the definition. It is a classification model. In the introduction, we saw about two types of model. Either a predictive model will be a regression model or it will be a classification model. In the diagram itself, it is very clear that it is a classification model. So decision tree is a classification model. It places the data into different categories. So the method is best used when we are trying to understand individuals' decisions. What will be the individual segment of customers' features or available ideas would be. Okay, how can I apply different decisions to attract those kind of customers? So for that kind of a problem, decision tree will be very much useful. So the model we saw, it is look like a tree with each branch representing a potential choice. Leaf would be the result of the decision actually. So decision tree are typically easy to understand and it will be very much useful when we have several missing variables. Any one of you, can you say what is missing variable? Can I explain, or you know that missing variable, outlier?
Outlier, we can say in a transaction, if it is a fraudulent transaction, we can say it is an outlier.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you for interacting with me. Otherwise, this session would not be good. Actually, ma'am, outlier is simply saying, for example, age is one variable, ma'am. So for age, I typed 30 as my age, for example. Okay. But the data entry operator or some other person entered one more zero. So my age will become 300. But obviously, no one human being will be up to 300 years. One day they will not live. Like no. So outlier is a value which is less than lower bound and a greater than upper bound. That is the outlier, ma'am. Actually, age I can give -3 or age is 300. Both are outliers. So if for example, I am giving one example. I am taking some patient data. Okay, patient data or student data also we can take. Or nowadays we are going to some new hospital. Immediately we have been asked to fill the registration form. So in that, lot of columns will be there. What will be your age, your address, email ID, phone number, like that. Plenty of data will be there, but we will not be filling all the data. If suppose lot of crowd is there, we have been asked to fill all the data, or some people will fill all those. So what happened if some missing variable is there? Or outlier, as I said, for age I may entered -3 or I may entered 300. So this will affect my model. Actually, data science model, I am building one data science model. That model is used to predict the fraudulent person or non-fraudulent person, or a fee defaulter or non-defaulter. So whatever may be the subject. So, but some variables are missing and some variables are in outlier in nature. So that will affect my model. That is, the model will give some prediction. No, for example, okay, we have to identify the diabetic or not. Okay, we have been given some 100 patients data. I need to identify whether out of 100 patients, how many patients are diagnosed with diabetic and how many are not diabetic. For example, if age and gender is missing in the sense, definitely it will affect my outcome, because Age is one factor for diabetic, you all know that, and you all know that even gender plays a major role in some diseases, okay, and lifestyle. Suppose if these variables are missing, in the sense my data model will not yield a good result, okay. So suppose some lot of missing variables are there, now we have to apply either mean, mode or median. If it is a income or if it is a age, I will be applying mean. Mean in the sense average of, for example, I have 100 records. In that 80 columns are filled with 20 missing variables. So those 20 missing variables, I will calculate the average of 80 and that average will be filled with missing variable. Okay. If it is a gender, for example, all those 100 records having 80 only the filled one, out of 80, for example, 50 is female, 30 is male. So mode one, it is nothing but frequent occurring. So most frequent occurring in the sense highest occurring. So here out of 80, 50 female. So I will fill the remaining 20 missing as female. So that is nothing but we have to deal with missing variable. So suppose if there the data set is consisting of several missing values, so that kind of situation you can use decision tree, because decision tree will give a good result when we have a, just a minute, ma'am, when we have lot of missing variables. I think it is clear, all of you are clear about missing value, missing variable and outlier. Okay. So the next third topic technique is neural network. We all know that it is a machine learning method which is very much useful in predictive analytics when the model consisting of some complex relationship between the features. So neural networks are best used to determine the mainly to deal with non-linear relationship. If it is linear, we can go for regression. If it is the relationship is non-linear, in the sense we can go for neural network, like image processing, or I need to use the CCTV footage. Using that CCTV footage, I need to find out the person is a terrorist or not. I need to find out the pattern which is available in my database. So some features are there, no? In terrorist, what happen if they come with some other adjustment in their face? For example, mustache, some other extra fitting if they are having. I need to identify whether the terrorist is matched with that already past data which is available in my database. So in that, this kind of data we can call it as non-linear. So because it will be dealing with more than 2 dimensions. So in that kind of problem, neural network plays a major role. So neural network is again used to validate the result of decision tree and regression model. So whatever we are giving of outcome of decision tree and regression model, whether that outcome is valid or not, that alone we can identify with the help of neural network. We can validate the result also. Okay. So the next topic is use cases of predictive analytics. There are plenty of use cases. The list goes on beyond 20, but I have taken only few. And this picture I have taken from Vision Technologies. They have identified the top 8 use cases as customer churn, quality assurance, and the third one is predictive maintenance, upsell and cross sale, risk modeling, customer segmentation, sentiment analysis, and the last one is customer lifetime value. So churn is nothing but whether a customer is going to stop purchasing from my shop or not. I need to identify. That is a topic called churn detection or churn prediction. So churn prediction is a topic which is used to identify whether my customers will be regular customer or if they are going to stop in near future. So I can predict, and after predicting it, I can avoid by giving some discount and offer. I can retain that customer. So that is a topic called churn prevention or prediction. So predictive analytics help in almost all the organization to identify whether the customer is going to stop purchasing in the upcoming future or not. So it is very risk for my revenue. So for that only we need to identify the customer segment also. That is one kind of use case, but it is related with churn prediction also. We all know that Amazon, right? So in Amazon they have prime customer as one category. So for prime customer they will not charge delivery fee, and within one day the delivery will be whatever may be the product. Immediately within one day they will deliver the product. Like that they are giving some offers. So everything is possible only with the help of customer segmentation, and according to the customer segment the business is providing some offer and services. So business and organization can make necessary modification using this predicted data to keep their customers happy and satisfied, eventually protecting their revenue by stopping them to what I can say. So in the near future, if they are going to stop purchasing from a shop, I know that. So immediately I can retain that customer by giving some offer or discount or some attractive benefits for the customers. So my main intention is to retain the customer without losing them. So that is churn prevention. Okay. So then risk modeling, it is also related with the previous one. So when the risk comes in many ways, right? So even it may be in the form of a customer, or it may be in the form of equipment I'm using in my company. Okay, so the potential risk may be from different kind of areas. Okay, so I have to sort them to analyze what kind of a risk may going to happen in my near future. So how can I handle that situation without affecting my business revenue? So for that, the predictive analytic applications plays a major role, and using that predictive analytics, companies and organizations can evaluate the risk issue and they can decide how to overcome that risk issues. Okay, so that is another kind of use case. And the third one is quality assurance. It's very important. Whatever the service or a product I am giving to customer, the customer should satisfy with my product as well as my warranty period. And what happen if any equipment or any part is missing or any part is not working. So like that, some attractive offers I should give in order to maintain my customers. Even though if we are giving these kind of offers, the most of the customers will be looking for the quality. The quality should be good, and then only they will come to our purchase our product. So industries use predictive analytic use case in order to gain the insight about the potential quality issues and trends before they become very critical to their company revenues. So quality assurance is another use case. And when we use predictive analytics, the approach to quality assurance shift from reactive to proactive stage. So I can prioritize the critical areas, and I can reduce the downtime, and I can immediately shift from normalcy. Okay, so quality assurance is the another use case. Next comes customer segmentation. So customer segmentation is nothing but grouping customers into different group. So prime customer, non-prime customer. So when we take Amazon, like that I can classify the customers, and according to the customer segmentation, I can offer so much of services and offers. Because a company cannot provide service and offers to all the customers. Even for a single small shop, if we purchase above 1,000, the offer will be different. If we purchase above 500, the offer will be different. So think about the business. So they need to deal with different kind of customer segments. So using predictive analytics, we can target the audience types, and we can take a decision based on the type of the customers. So data-driven decisions can be made when we use a predictive analytics, and it is used to identify the entire market. So in e-commerce, predictive analytics plays a major role in detecting and taking a very good decision. Okay. Next comes predictive maintenance. We all know that we are purchasing one product. The cost would be 10,000, but the maintenance cost for 5 years, if we take, it will be crossing the purchase cost. So the actual product cost will be one-time cost. When we take maintenance, it will be the ongoing cost. So in almost, it will be similar, or for the business or for all the companies, whatever may be the technical equipment or a product or a offer, whatever we are taking. So maintenance cycle will be very much difficult component. So maintenance cost dominating the company's revenue, what cost. Okay. To simplify the maintenance cost, we have to perform some action to increase our equipment lifespan. So for that, we need to use predictive maintenance. It is also a big topic. So a lot of research is going on this topic also. So you know that downtime is nothing but that the machine which is not in a working time. We all used to get some message from bank. So tomorrow between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. you cannot avail online service. Like that, we are getting lot of messages because of maintenance. Our bank online services you cannot avail, like that we are getting. So maintenance is a very big issue in almost all the areas. So predictive analytics use case will identify what would be the best time to perform the maintenance operation also, to avoid lot of revenue and to satisfy the customer also at the same time. So predictive maintenance is another use case. And the next one is sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis also another big research topic, because lot of research is going on emotion detection, and then sentiment analysis based on the customer's feedback. We can identify what will be their feedback, whether they are satisfied with the product or not. So the overall sentiment is expressed in a piece of text like customer's review, or in a social media post like Twitter and Instagram, or in email. Okay, we can use some tools to identify the sentiment of or the emotion of the customers. Okay, so using that we can provide some recommendation to the companies to enhance the reputation and market of the company in the public. So next is upselling and cross-selling. Nowadays it is also very common. Upsell is nothing but the company is making us to buy. For example, I am going for a shop and my budget is 10,000. Okay, so my budget is 10,000 and I'm going to purchase one mobile. I'm going in that thought only. After entering into Purviga or some other mobile shop, I am seeing 10,000 mobile, but they are very much concentrating on the other upgraded version of that mobile. If you purchase this mobile, only 2,000 is different from the previous model. This is new model. This is only 12,000. These are the features which is not available in this mobile. Like that, they will talk something and they will make us to buy the upgraded version of the same product. Even you are going for a shop for purchasing a 32-inch TV, but you are returning with some 45-inch TV. So they will be keep on telling that only this much of amount if you are spending, you will be having this product, like that. So that is upsell. Cross sale is nothing but when I purchase mobile, they are forcing us to purchase the accessories of mobile, like scratch guard or headphone something. So that is cross sale is related products. Upsell is upgraded version of the same product. Okay, in both way the company is getting profit. I'm going with the intention of 10,000 only, spending 10,000. but I spent 12,000. Similarly, for cross-sell also, I am spending 10,000, but they make us to spend another 1,000 rupees or 5,000 for the other related products also. So company is making revenue from the customer by doing this upsell and cross-sell. So predictive analytics is very much useful in identifying this also. User recommendation is also another kind of an area. In Amazon, immediately, whatever the product we are purchasing, immediately it is showing the customers who bought this, purchased this also. Like that, it is giving some recommendation. So upsell and cross-sell is related with e-commerce and user recommender system also. The next one is customer lifetime value. The customer lifetime value starting itself, I told, if I am the customer of one company or one shop, so if I am 48 years old, if I am purchasing for another 22 years, and for every year I am spending some amount for purchasing items in their shop. So when I calculate this, I will be getting customer lifetime value. This is one kind of an revenue for the company. So they have to retain the customer. So retaining the customer is very easy instead of getting a new customer into our company. So it is very challenging for the companies to retain the customers because of the competition nowadays. So some marketing strategies the business has to use in order to attract their customer and to retain their customer. Okay, so that is customer lifetime value. So up to this, the use cases of predictive analytics we saw. The next topic is benefits of predictive analytics. So both of them are mostly related with each other. Only the topic is varying. So whatever the use cases we have saw, so their outcome will become the benefits. So the first benefit, I can gain a competitive advantage when I use predictive analytics. Second one, I can find new revenue opportunity when I use predictive analytics. Third one is I can optimize my process and performance. And I can improve fraud detection. Okay. So fifth one is I can increase my asset utilization. And as a sixth advantage, you can improve your product capacity and quality if you are using predictive analytics. Similarly, you can improve collaboration and control. And the last benefit is reducing risk. There is benefit also, lot of benefit, but I have listed only the important benefits. Okay. So benefits of predictive analytics. The first benefit is gaining a competitive advantage. We saw in the previous slide how we can attract our customers. How can we stand in the competitive world? So data, whatever I am predicted, help the business to gain a competitive advantage by providing the metrics and insight their competitors do not have. So what kind of an offer if I give, my customers will purchase again in my company. So for that, the predictive analytics will be playing a major role. So the second one is it is used to find new revenue opportunities. Using the predicted data, I can increase my revenue by identifying the new opportunities. Just now we saw upselling and cross-selling. Okay. So with the help of upselling and cross-selling, I can find a new revenue opportunities for my company. So the data, whatever I am predicted, which is used to identify the fraudulent transaction. For example, if we are using our credit card, right? So I wrongly entered my PIN number. So again, I entered a PIN number, but for the second time also I entered a wrong PIN number. So third time, if I'm trying to enter a PIN number, immediately I will be asked to give some other authorization. Further authorization will be returned from bank. Why? Because they suspect some transaction. So 2 times I entered wrongly, third time only I entered correctly. So this lead to some suspicious event for the bank. So immediately they will be asking some other, enter your bank debit card PIN number or some other date of birth or last 4 digit of your number, credit card or debit card. Like that, it will be asking for further authorization from the user. This is because of they identified the transaction is somewhat suspicious and fraudulent. So to prevent them from occurring in the first place. So it improves the fraudulent event occurring is reduced when we use predictive analytics. Next comes optimize process and performance. So my performance and operations will be optimized. That is fine tuning of my performance and operations. Okay, supply chain and inventory management. So by improving that, it will obviously improve my process and performance. So for almost all the organization, they are using predictive analytics to optimize their performance and process. Third one is asset utilization. Everyone is related with each other. If you see, it is closely related with one another. So by predicting when my equipment is likely to fail, when my equipment is going to stop working, so I can perform a maintenance before that breakdown occurs. So it will prevent me by loss. Okay, so improves my asset utilization also. If it is working for 10 days, before the 12th day, if the 12th day is somewhat there is event or chance going to my equipment is going to fail. So but before 2 days, if I identified, I will perform a maintenance and I make again for another 10 days my machine is working. So obviously it increases or improves my asset utilization and it reduces my downtime. Downtime is machine is not in working time. Okay, that is in maintenance period. So next, improve production capacity and quality. So business can identify some factors that affect the product's capacity, and product capacity is nothing but product count. It is in the inventory. Okay, so and the product quality. So what factors will affect these two? So by knowing this, I can make some necessary adjustment or changes to avoid this, and it will help my business to improve my production capacity and quality, because it is related with quality assurance. Okay, the next comes, it improves collaboration and control. So by providing accurate forecast or future trend or a future outcome, some and some actionable insight, so it enables different department within a business to work together more effectively and to make a better decision. So it improves collaboration and control. So again, repeated only, reduce risk. So there we studied about risk assessment. Here we are giving that outcome. So reducing risk is nothing but predicting the potential problem and the issues. A business can take necessary step to avoid that risk in the near future going to come. So insurance companies mostly use predictive analytics to assess the risk associated with a particular individual insured, and they can set premium according to the category. Okay, so to manage them properly. So it is another area, and at the end conclusion, so from that presentation we can clearly see predictive analytics, it is very good for forecasting, it is very good for assessing the risk and avoid the risk by managing risk, and we can easily identify what would be the customer behavior in future, and according to the customer behavior we can provide some offer and services to retain that customer, and we can identify fraudulent person or a fraudulent transaction when we use predictive analytics, and we can improve our operation by optimizing our operation process. So these are the repetitive areas where predictive analytics is very good at. So almost all the organization nowadays, they are using predictive analytics for taking a very good decision and to optimize their process and to increase their efficiency and profitability. So predictive analytics, recently, what are the companies they are using? Almost all the companies they are using: Amazon, Netflix, and Netflix also showing some, if we are watching some movie, it is showing immediately, because of you watched this movie, I am suggesting this, like that it is showing. So user recommendation, and then to predict the future trend, the list goes on. Okay, so by using predictive analytics, we can avoid lot of risk in almost all the organization, whatever maybe. It may be a business organization or it may be a educational institution, whatever maybe, we can use the predictive analytics as a very good tool. Okay, with that I will stop my presentation. If you have any queries, I can ready to clarify your doubts.
Participants, if you have any queries, would like to clear your doubts, you can ask now. I think more clear. So they don't have any
Yes.
clarifications.
Yes.
Good evening, madam.
Yes, sir.
This is Jaikmar from Chennai. So I have
Yes,
one
sir.
doubt, ma'am. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
how the outlier data differ from the noise data, ma'am?
Sir, outlier, okay, noise data in the sense, for example, if my input or source is CCTV footage, sir. For example, I need to identify which vehicle crossed the signal when the signal is in red. Okay, sir. So in that, I am my concentration is to only capture the number board. So the others are noise for me. Similarly, if we are recording some audio message or something, only my voice is my input or source. The other surrounding sound is noise, for example. Noise is different one, sir. So by pre-processing, we can remove noise data. But outlier is a different one. It is a part of a variable. How can I say? For example, we are giving some 20 columns. For example, name, age, gender, what about my lifestyle, and then my family history, whether my parent is having diabetic or not. Like that, I am having columns. So in that columns, if any one variable, for example, age, it is its value is lies below the lower bound or above the upper bound. In the sense, I can say it is an outlier. Outlier is a thing we need to deal with. I need to correct this using some techniques available. Box plot, we are having some technique. We need to apply outlier deduction and treatment itself is a big area. So I need to deal with outlier. Outlier, I need to correct it. But noise data is somewhat, I don't want. For my data science model or a data mining model, noise is an unnecessary data. I don't want. I need to remove it using some pre-processing technique. But outlier is a different one, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Your question.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, madam.
Hello, ma'am. This is Rajat from US.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for very good presentation on this. I'm thinking how we can use predictive analysis in insurance company to make more risk related decision, but in marine insurance and other to predict.
Yes, sir. Insurance company nowadays they are using predictive analytics, sir. Okay. So how the premium, they are setting some premium amount, no, sir. Every month I need to pay this. Every year correct. I need to pay this. By setting that premium alone, they are using predictive analytics, sir. Actually.
Okay. Okay. What about in cyber actually? Because I work in cyber insurance, and I was thinking how we can use these predictive analytics.
Yes, sir. We can identify fraudulent transaction, fraudulent or suspicious actions. We can identify when we use predictive analytics. For that, we need to give some past data. For example, you have identified one crime as cyber crime already. So yeah. About that cyber crime activity, we need to provide some input. If the occurring event or action is similar to that already existing, that past data, our predictive analytics will predict this also may be a cyber crime. Like that it will predict. So we need to provide some input. Okay, whatever previous, it is somewhat similar to machine learning algorithm. For machine learning algorithm, we need to provide some past data. No, sir. Same way, predictive analytics also it need to use some historical or past and current data. It need to use. Then only it can able to predict the outcome.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much,
yes.
ma'am.
One of the participants asked whether predictive analytics is used for text analytics. Yes, it can be used. One of my slide I showed sentiment analysis. It is text analysis only. Yes, we can use predictive analytics to analysis the text also. Any other questions, ma'am?
Ma'am, I think no more queries. So yes, we can proceed with a vote of thanks.
Yes.
Now I request Dr. K. Kalaiselvi, Head in charge of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Data Analytic Department, to share vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Dear participants, we have shared the day 2 attendance link as well as feedback link in chat box of Gmeet as well as in the comment box of the YouTube. Kindly fill it. Now I am requesting the participants to unmute your video to take a snap. It's a time for photo session. Dear participants, if possible, come in video mode. Thank you. Wait a minute, let me take, please. Okay, thanks a lot. Sudha ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks a lot, ma'am.